I wanted to speak about healing, reconciliation, forgiving, and the prevention of community separation. I'm so glad that Brother Ataf explained it, because otherwise the things that I was going to say would not have made sense without his preliminary information. I want to talk about memories. When we think of remembering the past, we're talking about stored memory. How we remember the past shape how we are in the present. If we are filled with grievances or issues that are unresolved, by definition, this hinders our ability to love and to forgive. Reconciliation is how to transform the collective and personal pain that any of us may have shared in our history into a community where we as its members can live together in some type of harmony. A community divided cannot thrive, cannot survive. I think about my memories in terms of since I've accepted Islam. And if I was to express those to you, I would say, sister, you don't remember me, but I was the one who stood beside you in the salat line in a masjid that I was unfamiliar with, and you moved away from me. And I kept wanting to get closer to you because I wanted to be able to close that gap, and you continued to move away from me, and I didn't understand. Sister, you may not remember me, but I was the one who had fasted during the month of Ramadan, and I was online to be able to get my plate because I was hungry as everyone else was there. But instead of filling my plate, you asked for the sister behind me who looked like you, who didn't look like me, and gave her the plate of food. You didn't understand what you had done. Sister, as I sat in a room filled with individuals who I didn't understand what you were talking about, you did not include me in your conversation, and I felt ostracized in a whole entire masjid of Muslims, those who say that they believe as I believe. But I can't stand before you on a panel about healing and reconciliation without saying to these sisters, because you don't remember me, but these are in my stored memory, and I say to you, sister, I forgive you. I forgive you because you didn't know what you were doing to me or the impact that it made in my life. And I forgive you because I need you. I forgive you because I need to. I need you because 3 days ago, a sister called me from Mississippi, and she said, I am the victim of domestic violence. Sister Asma, I need to get to where you are. I said, I need someone along the path who can help this sister. The imam of the community there, whom I don't know, this sister whom I don't know, gave me a reference for this sister. And alhamdulillah, put this sister in a vehicle to be able to travel here. Yesterday, the sister called me from Winchester, Virginia, and said her vehicle had broken down 2 hours away from her destination to me in Baltimore. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know where Winchester, Virginia was. I called Brother Khalid of Adams. I said, Brother Khalid, I have a sister in Winchester, Virginia. She's trying to get here. Her vehicle broke down. She has 3 children. What can I do? He said, Sister Asma, let me get back to you. Let me help you. I called Brother Rizwan because he was also someone whose phone number I have. And I said, Brother Rizwan, this sister is there. I need a way to be able to get her. I do not want her stranded in the middle of the night. When I called Brother Khalid, I know he was sitting at his house, eating food with his family, but he took my call anyway. He didn't have to. He did. It was his connection with me in some kind of way as a Muslim that made this brother pick up the phone and say, I'm going to do whatever I can do to be able to help this sister. And from there, somebody on this network of Muslims got a tow truck to tow this sister to Sterling, Virginia. Someone on this network of Muslims got a vehicle to put this sister and her children in so that she could then follow her vehicle, so she couldn't leave it there because the gas station attendant said she can't leave it here. Somebody on this network of Muslims whom I don't know, gave that sister refuge for the night. We're talking one phone call. Somebody who I don't know brought this sister somewhere around here, I can't even explain to you where, to be able to put brakes on this sister's vehicle, which is what happened. Her brakes had failed. Somebody paid for those brakes to be able to be put on this sister's vehicle. And somebody made sure that this sister had enough gas in her vehicle to get to me. That sister is in our shelter right now because there were people along the way who I forgave, who were part of my community, who I needed to help a sister who I had never met before, an individual who I have no idea of who were involved. This is why we have to have healing and reconciliation, because we need one another. This sister could not have made it here without our community from Mississippi to Baltimore, Maryland. She could not have made it here. And that's why I stand before you and I say, wherever those sisters were, on those times when they hurt me, I forgive them. Because had I not, I would not have been able to call Brother Khalid, whom I met since I came here, or Brother Rizwan, whom I met since I came here, and trusted this sister and her 3 babies in the hands of individuals who I have no idea who they are. All I know is that we need one another. And alhamdulillah, because we have one another, this sister and her children are safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Allahu Akbar, mashallah. Allahu Akbar, mashallah. Barakallah fikum, jazakallah khair, Sister Asma Hanif. And as I said in the beginning of this program, it is these kind of heartfelt conversations that will, inshallah ta'ala, begin to take place. They have already begun to take place, but it is really, truly the belief of manna that we all together can work and, inshallah, help to heal, inshallah, some of the wounds that may exist. And if not, if people didn't even know that they did something wrong. I remember growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, and if, subhanAllah, he's still a brother dear to me, a brother by the name of Khalid Abdul Samad. And he was the one who helped raise us when we were young. I remember distinctly being at an Eid, Ramadan Eid gathering. People don't think what they say sometimes, and children hear. And I was only about 11, 12 years old. And I was standing close to the door, and Khalid Abdul Samad is a towering man of maybe about 6'3", 6'4". He was walking towards the door, and I heard one uncle say to the other uncle, "Who invited these people here?" I remember at 12 or 13, being so wounded by that statement, so hurt that I stood at that door and I said, "Nobody will go past me until someone from here apologizes to this man who never even heard what you said, but I know what you said and I know what you meant." So for me, that consciousness was awakened because of my parents, my father and mother, who transcended those lines and who taught us that there were no such lines. And indeed, inshallah ta'ala, with the help of manna and with other such efforts, we will begin to do that and to really look for a better way, a better America, a better Muslim America, so that all of our children, inshallah, can grow up in that shade. I will now invite Imam Shakir as-Sayyid to share some of his reflections on the idea of working together to benefit this community. Imam Shakir as-Sayyid.